What up, Pittsburgh Steelers fans? Breaking news here from Steelers Touchdown Under. We have a trade. Kendrick Green gets traded to the Houston Texans for a 2025 six-round pick. You can believe it here first. We've got it here. It's on the NFL.com. It's on the Houston Texans page as well. Kendrick Green has been traded to the Houston Texans for a 2025 six-round pick. That's breaking now before the roster cuts. I'm recording this at about dead on 4:01 p.m. Eastern Daylight Savings Time right now. Kendrick Green traded to the Houston Texans. Obviously, we know he was brought in the third round by the Steelers in 2021. Went straight in as the center there in Ben's last year after Pouncey retired the year before. Had some pluses, had some minuses. Every rookie that's starting on an offensive line is going to have their challenges, going to have their peaks and troughs. But definitely he had quite a few. We saw that, a lot of people talked about his arm size, and people said switch him to guard. He's got even smaller arms than what you need for guard. I always saw him as a center. The big thing was his athleticism, the fact he could pull. You saw that with the Steelers trying him in fullback type roles during this preseason. I did a show that came out on the US's Monday around thinking that Kendrick Green could be a trade target for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Some people jeered me in the comments, but hey, he is a trade target and he has been traded. So we got that one right. I've said all offseason, Dotson and Kendrick Green on this channel. I've said Dotson, Kendrick Green would both be traded before the season started. That's what's happened. As a reminder, Kevin Green had 15 starts in 2021. He spent last season as basically like, you can't call it red-shirted, but like out with full health, but just didn't really play. Healthy scratch, that's what I was going for. But had an AV of 5, according to Pro Football Reference in 2021, which is pretty decent for an offensive lineman. Basically, that approximates his value compared to other guys at the position. But really, never saw Kendrick Green get comfortable in the interior offensive line in a particular position, and that's probably cost him a little bit. He had 6 penalties in 2021 too, so that's not crazy bad, but it's not crazy good either. Interestingly, though, in college, he actually only allowed, I think it was 3 sacks in his last 2 years or something like that. I remember doing the breaking news show when they drafted him. I remember watching his tape. I predicted 2 days before the draft in 2021 that the Steelers would pick Kendrick Green after seeing some tape of him. So, yeah, I think it's disappointing. I think we all wanted a bit more from Kendrick Green. But, hey, he gets a fresh start. I think that's good for all parties. The Steelers have a great offensive line now. When you think about Dan Moore Jr., you think about Broderick Jones, you think about Sam Arlo, you think about Cole, you think about James Daniels, you think about Okorafor does a good enough job. And then you think about having a guy with experience like Nate Herbig. You've drafted in Spencer Anderson. This line's pretty good. We should be really happy with that. We're getting, and you know what? The best thing, if they're not going to start and they're not the clear backup, and they're fighting for a starting spot, you may as well trade them and get something for it. And that's what the Steelers have done. Stay tuned. We'll try and give a roster update as soon as the cuts are there. And as always, go Steelers.